We haven't used one of these for a long time. Hey everyone, it's Skipper Kyle here. Just wanted to take a few minutes and show you guys how to play Jungle Rummy, a new card game. Now, back in the 1920s, adventurers who ran throughout the jungles were known as skippers, transporting freight and passengers throughout the world. We've created a card game to pay tribute to these skippers and to the adventures that they had. Now, back in the day, the only deck of cards the skippers had were eaten by a crocodile, so the skippers made cards out of anything that they could find, tickets, stamps, and they made up their own rules. So the objective of Jungle Rummy and how to win the game is you're going to try to get as many target cards as possible. Now, these are what the target cards look like, and the target cards have objectives, different sets, runs, different flushes. So this is what our playing surface looks like. We have a couple of different areas here on the board. So these are all of your different play areas during the game. To the left are the targets with the red target on them. To the right is the target that's in play, and that's your objective. The middle deck is your graveyard, which is where your special cards or your tricks are sent to. And then your right-hand card is your discard, where any cards discarded from play will go. Each player is dealt 9 cards at the start of the game. At the start of your turn, you have the option of either taking a card from the deck, or you can take the top card from the discard pile. This is the point that you can play one special card from your hand, and you play it into the graveyard, not into the discard pile. If you have the cards in your hand to collect one of the targets, you would pick the target up. You would put the cards that you're using to pick it up into the graveyard. This would be an example of a completed trick where you had 3 sets each of 3 of a kind. And after picking up the targets, you're always going to make sure that you draw so that your hand is back up to 5 cards if you don't already have 5 cards in your hand. And once you've drawn back up to 5 cards for your hand, you're going to flip over the next target card. That card that you turn over is a volcano. All players will take all cards from their hand, the graveyard, and the discard, shuffle them together, and all players will be redealt 9 cards. Now, if you have more than 9 cards at the end of any of your turns, you're going to discard one of those into the discard pile. And when 3 volcano cards have been revealed, the game is over. The winner of the game will be the player with the most target cards at the end of the game. Now, there are some other rules that may come into play, and we're going to clarify those for you right now. Now, one of the important things to know is that your 0 can be used in a run to go between a 9 and a 1 to wrap the run of cards all the way around the set. After you flip over one volcano, the next card in the target deck may also be a volcano. That actually does count as 2 volcanoes, so 2 of your 3 are done for the game. Now, at the start of the game, you may draw a special card at the top of the deck. Just place that in the graveyard and flip the next card up to start your discard pile. Special cards are never put in the discard pile, they always go to the graveyard. During play, if for some reason you want to, you can discard a special card. It just goes to the graveyard instead of the discard pile. Now, special cards do count in the suit that they're in the case of a flush. And if you do have 4 of the same special card, it can count as a set as well. And just remember that after your turn, play will always pass to the player on your left. More specific rules, if you have 11 cards at the end of your turn, you're always going to discard down to 9 at the end of your turn. If you have a special card, you always can discard it to the graveyard instead of using it. Situation where there may be no cards in the discard pile, and in a situation like that, until another card is discarded, your only play is going to be the deck. So we've had a lot of fun designing and playtesting this game, and we really want to thank you guys for supporting us. You can find us over on Facebook or Twitter, or you can find our games at thegamecrafter.com. Thanks again, and Kungaloosh.